Hi guys, so today I have a story time for you about the time I ran into a rattlesnake. So I live in Canada, in Ontario, Canada to be exact, and my family has a cottage up north, and we had gone up north to the Parry Sound kind of area to go to the cottage, but we went somewhere else. It was some sort of park. I don't know the exact name or anything because this happened so long ago and I wasn't keeping track. But we went to this park and we brought all of our bikes so we could ride on the trails and stuff. And we went into this little building before we went anywhere to get a map, and there was a picture of some of the wildlife that you have a chance of seeing while you're in the park. But I was really interested in snakes at the time, so I actually pointed at the picture and I was like, oh look, there's snakes, and I think there was a few other birds and insects and stuff on there too, and skinks and stuff like that. We begun on the trail riding our bikes, and it was me, my brother, and my sister, and we were on our little, so we didn't have training wheels on our bikes. I remember that we were free of training wheels, so I don't know the exact age we were, but somewhere close to that. And my parents were behind us because they wanted to make sure none of us fell, because if a kid falls, the parent can stop and help them back up, whereas if the parents are in front, they might not see the kid fall. That is why the kids were in the front. I think we were on a hill. We went up a hill, we got to the top, waited for our parents to get behind us, and then we booked it down the hill on our bikes. And I had my legs up while I was going down the hill because we were all screaming and laughing while we were going down. So my legs were up on the bike because I didn't need to pedal because we were going down a hill. And I started going off a little to close to the side of the trail. And my brother and sister were on the other side of me. And next thing you know, I look down and there is a snake. And I ran it over on my little bike with my little body. And I screamed, and then I stopped my bike and I said, "Mom, I just ran over a snake." She was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Yeah." And I didn't even realize it was a rattlesnake at the time. I just knew that's a snake, and I ran it over. I think it was its tail that was hanging out on the edge. It wasn't like the head side. But I ran that over, and then we were all like, whoa. And then we went back to that little building we went into before we started, and my mom was like, "What snake did you see?" Because there was more than one snake on that board. There was like garden snakes and other snakes. So she was like, "What snake did you run over?" And I was like, it had like a leopardish pattern. So I looked at them all and I was like, definitely that one. And she goes, "That's a rattlesnake." And it was actually a Mississauga rattlesnake. So it was a Mississauga rattlesnake because that is the only rattlesnake we have in Ontario. We don't have other rattlesnakes. That's really the only encounter I had. My grandpa was actually bit by a rattlesnake when he went to Florida for vacation with my grandma. He got bit. So I don't know exactly what type of snake he was bit by, I forget, escapes my mind, but he was wearing sandals when he was adventuring in like a little nature area, and I guess it bit him on the foot. One fang went into the sandal, the other one didn't, so the sandal kind of stopped a bunch of venom from getting to him, but he got to the hospital and he was put on a bunch of medications, antibiotics and stuff like that. And I guess some other guy the exact same day was also bit by the same snake, and he did not make it. But my grandpa made it. And I think, if I recall, the type of snake it was, it's very unlikely that you do survive from it. So it's amazing that my grandpa actually did survive from it, and he lived to tell the tale. And those are my snake stories, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.